Right, so let's go and drive the start of the test. So I'm ready to go. I'm checking my mirrors. There's nothing approaching the roundabout that I can see. Now there is. There's a car coming. A blue car. Followed by a black one. And this is what happens here. Situations can change incredibly quickly. So I'm watching the roundabout. Whole stream of traffic coming through. I'm not going to signal until I can see there's an opportunity to go. I'm not going to try and force my way out into traffic. Right, so mirrors, signal, blind spot. I'm pulling out, make sure I keep away from the car in front. Making sure there's nothing coming out of Selkirk Road and Selkirk Street that I need to worry about. And I'm away. So next obstacle is the narrowing by the church. So after the parked cars, I'm going to get over to the left and then have a look up the road to see if it's going to be safe to commit. It is wide enough for two cars to go through here, although it doesn't necessarily feel it, but it is. Just keep over to the left hand side. Anything bigger than a car coming down there, you'd want to hold back and give way. So I'm looking up the road. It's going to get narrow again with parked cars on the right hand side. I think just to make things awkward, somebody's decided to stick a car in on the left hand side as well. Makes things very difficult. So we're going to come to the next obstacle, which is the roundabout. We're going to go straight ahead, taking the second exit. So we're looking up the road for any oncoming traffic. See where this vehicle is going to. Yep, he's going straight ahead. Look to the right, make sure it's safe. And that look to the right is absolutely essential in order to make sure that it's safe to go. We'll see a few other Cheltenham type obstacles as we go along here. So I'm going to take the next turn on the left. Tight bend. A lot of these Victorian streets have very tight bends in them. And it's very easy to get up on the curb. Now this is classic Cheltenham. Two-way road. Cars parked on both sides. Nobody's got priority. You've got to be prepared to give way. So I'm looking up the road as far as I can. I can see there's a vehicle coming. I can also see there's an opening on the left hand side that I can pull into. So I'm going to pull over to the left. Now I'm in control. I know what's happening. Pull back out. And again, looking as far away as possible. Trying to identify hazards as soon as they happen. And then have a plan for dealing with them. When we get to these crossroads, we're going to turn left. Just don't get too close into the corner because it's easy to go over the curb. And we're out on a fairly main road, so nothing too much to trouble us for the next minute or so. Now we're approaching the double mini roundabout. At the first mini roundabout we're going to turn left, so we're almost doubling back on ourselves to the left. Look to the right, make sure it's safe. Carefully round. And again we've got vehicles parked by the side, making a judgment about whether or not it's safe to go. Always err on the side of caution. Remember, if you stop, You're the one who's in control, you're not relying on somebody else to give way to you. Take the next turn on the right. So this is the road leading back to the test centre, Pitville Circus Road. And again, cars parked both sides, no priorities, be prepared to give way. If the other guy gives way to you, that's fine. There's no point in you giving way if somebody else has already given way to you. And all you've got there is two cars standing still. Nobody's making any progress. At the mini roundabout we're going to turn left, and the lay-by we came out of is just around this corner. Take it really nice and slowly. Don't want to encroach on those white markings in the middle of the road. Steer it around. I'm going to pull in again on the left, so mirrors and signal. Right, so I'm just going to reverse back a little bit to pull away, and then we're going to do the same again. This time, when we get to the roundabout, we're going to turn left. So again, mirrors, signal, blind spot, and we're away. Looking out for any other vehicles oncoming. Going past the parked cars. After the parked cars, pull over to the left, but keep the car moving. Have a look at the road, decide whether it's safe to commit. There's only a cyclist and one other car coming through, so we should be fine. Although there's cars parked on the right hand side here, it isn't as narrow as that first part. It's quite comfortable for two cars to go through. And at the roundabout, we're going to turn left, taking the first exit. So mirrors and signal left. Look at the oncoming vehicles, see where they're positioned, see where they're signalling, make sure they're going where they should be. Look to the right, and there is a car coming from the right hand side, so he has priority, and we can go. That's the favourite beer shop. It has a very nice selection of Trappist beer for any connoisseurs out there. Now, yet again, we've got the situation where we've got vehicles parked by the side. The road's not particularly wide. I'm just going to slow it down here as the road narrows. Take it nice and gently. Be prepared to stop. So, all times, you're remaining in control. You're not relying on somebody else, hoping they'll give way to you. You're the one who is in control of the situation. We're going to take the next turn on the left. So mirrors and signal left. And we're back in Pitville Circus Road, heading towards the test centre again. Up the road, seen there's a car coming, prepared to stop, or go to a rolling halt. Sorry, rolling hold back I should say, not rolling halt, couldn't have a rolling halt. Let's slow the car down here, there's room for two cars to go through. Anything bigger than an average car you probably want to give way to. I'm ready to give way here. We're back at the mini roundabout next to the test centre. So mirrors and signal left. I'm keeping away from the white markings in the road. I'm just going to demonstrate something here. So I'm going the signals to pull into the lay-by. Absolutely vital that you have your mirrors and signal when you come into that lay-by, because you have to be passing on some information to those guys behind you so they know to avoid you. Now the further back in the lay-by you are, the more dangerous it is, because the less time anybody behind you has to react to you or you to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse back a little bit, just to make it easier for me to see past the van, and then I'm going to pull away when it's safe. So look behind. Okay. So I'm having a look in the mirror, in the door mirror, having a look at the vehicles behind us. What's this guy going to do? He's not signalling, but he is coming our way. Okay. Mirrors, signal, blind spot. This time there is a car coming out of Selkirk Road, so I've got to be careful of them, and also oncoming vehicles. So the further down this lay-by you can get, the easier life is. There's a special word for people who drive like that. I'm not allowed to use it. Again, seeing that the road's clear. So it's all about these meeting situations and about you and your control of those situations. This time at the roundabout, we're going to turn right, taking the third exit. It's a little bit awkward. We'll have a look to the right as always. It's clear. Go out around the roundabout. Nobody seems to expect you to do a right turn here, so you have to be careful, looking up at the traffic, making sure nobody's going to pull out in front of you. Follow the road round to the left. And then at the end of the road, we're going to turn left. And we go this partly here into the one-way system. As people always mention the one-way system when they talk about Cheltenham and driving tests. The one-way system really isn't anything like a big deal, as long as you're going the right way. There's far more those meeting situations, those times when there's vehicles parked by the side of the road. So I'm just being patient here, letting the traffic come through. There's absolutely nothing to rush for. You're going on a driving test. There's no reason whatsoever why you should be risking pulling out into a gap that maybe isn't good enough. All the way through the driving test, it's safety, safety, safety. Straight ahead at the traffic lights. Now the next instruction is to take the next turn on the left. It's actually the road directly in front of you. The main highway goes around to the right, and therefore we treat it as a left turn. So there's mirrors and signal. And then look at the road markings. There's a left turn on the arrow, there's a sign that says turn left. There's a no right turn sign, there's a left turn only sign, and another left turn on the arrow. You'll be amazed how many times you get to this point and somebody says, which way are we going? There's a clue in the road markings. Right, so we're heading back up towards the offending roundabout on the road to hell. Except this time we're coming from the opposite side. And we're turning right, third exit. That's towards the road with all the trees in it. It's not always obvious to people that this is the third exit, but it is. heading back towards the test centre. I'm going to do it 2 more ways. Right, so heading back to the mini roundabouts. Labour's on our left hand side round the corner. Making sure the speed's right down, totally under control. Give way to the van. Now this time I don't think we're going to get to pull in the lay-by, so we'll just continue on straight ahead. Now we're going to do a slight variation this time because we're going to come at the roundabouts from a different angle. Now if that truck had been a bit closer up, I would probably have given way to him. That far down the road, it's pretty wide enough. I'm going to take the next turn on the right into Winstonian Road. And then we're going to take the next turn on the left. So we're going to head back towards the same mini roundabout we've been doing all along, except this time we're going to come into it from a different angle. So at the end of this road we turn left. And we're going to take the second exit at the roundabout. So there's 2 exits on the left. So we don't signal, otherwise we'll be misleading people on the left hand side. So look into the right, and then go, and now mirrors and signal left. Really important, you don't signal left to begin with there, otherwise you're going to look like you're turning left. So one last time, we're going to turn left at the mini roundabout. So mirrors and signal, round to the left. Now this time when we get to the roundabout, we are going to do a U-turn and come back up this road. This is often the beginning of a test which is going to end up going up to Cleve. The road's nice and clear. Plenty of space to cross here. And we're going to do a U-turn at the mini roundabout and come back up this road. So mirrors and signal right. Mini comes into us, look to the right. We come all the way around and then back up All Saints Road. This road feels an awful lot narrower in this direction than it does the other way. It's because the vehicles are mostly on the left hand side and therefore are actually physically much closer to you. And I think we'll leave this video there.